So this story is about the Songololos. You might remember them. They went to the park, and that's where they found some furry friends, other furry friends. We are talking about the squirrels, of course. Well, they went back to that park. And while they were at the park, they discovered that everything was wet. The grass was wet, the trees were wet, everything was wet. They wondered what had happened. They looked around, and they looked this side in the park, and they couldn't see what was wrong there. And they looked in that side of the park. Oh, there's something that's happened there, they said. Maybe we need to go and check it out. And so they went. And what they found was an old tree that had fallen down. They looked around carefully, and they couldn't see any squirrels. And so they went and they checked on that tree. When they looked at that tree, they found that it was lovely and sort of rotten, just like Songololos like. And so they crawled in and out of it. They played on it, they nibbled on it. They had such fun because it was such a lovely tree for them to be able to play in. And then they looked around. Where else could we play, they wondered. What else could we do? Then one of them looked up that oak tree. Oh, it was a tall, tall oak tree. It was the one in which the squirrels had gone to hide. No, they couldn't see any squirrels this day. But then one of the Songololos said, "Look, guys, have a look at those little leaves that are growing. There's new leaves on that oak tree. Those must be so yummy. But they're so high up." That's the day they tried to climb up that oak tree to see whether they could see further, but also to get leaves, fresh, new spring leaves. And they managed to get there. Some of them climbed and others pushed and others helped. And eventually they nibbled on those leaves, those new leaves. It was such fun that they were having. Then they had to come down again, and that was difficult. But they did. They just dropped themselves and they fell into the green grass. So then they had had enough to do. They were eating, they were climbing, they were having fun, they were doing all sorts. One of them said, "Let's go walk around and see what we can find." And they walked and walked and walked, and then they found a puddle. Oh, but it was muddy and nobody really wanted to play in it. "It's too muddy for us," said the Songololos. They remembered that some of their friends used to play in mud, but they didn't want to. They then went and they found different flowers growing in the park. There were yellow ones and there were purplish ones, and they had such fun trying to find more and more of those. And eventually they decided it's time to go home. And so they looked for a path that would take them out of the park back to where they lived. But it wasn't easy to find. Then one of them said, "I think it's here." And they walked along, and there they found the path. It was a path that was a little bit wet still from the rain. It was a little bit muddy, but they walked along it and it was fine. That's the way they got home. Across the path, back through the forest, and to their compost heap. The Songololos had a beautiful day. They played so much, and they had such fun. We'll see you again sometime. Bye.